Hello, guys. Can you see me? We are at Clay's house.
We might have to go for beers. Daisy said I oversalted the meat, or spiced it, or something like that.
Well, I actually meant to bring my tea with me. I gotta go get it. Here's some Italian, some blue cheese. That's some salt for me.
You might avoid the salt. I think I already did it.
I'll grab my tea right quick. I'll be right back.
Ya no tenemos nada de tomar aquí. El plato de nada de tomar. Solo agua. ¿Está fea la carne, Bechana?
It's spicy, but it's good.
So I gather from Facebook that Daisy does not like the fish tank.
Oh! No like. Yeah, last year, every year he got a project.
A project?
Yeah.
How many of them does he complete?
Last year he planted tomatoes, onions.
I remember that.
The topsy-turvy.
Yeah. And he don't plant tomatoes this year because last year he can sell too much tomatoes.
Couldn't sell all the tomatoes and had too many.
Yeah.
That
Not
didn't
too
even
many?
count.
I couldn't even make tomatoes
That's
great.
her being sarcastic.
Oh,
The thing is the sunshine was an issue.
too much?
Now they went whoop and stayed right there. They just didn't.
Well, mine grew as you saw, and they even made flowers, but they never did anything else. I give up on tomatoes. I do have one pepper. Oh, the doggy's coming to join us.
I don't think they can see anything.
Well, let's see whatever you see on there. So.
There we go. Oh, Daisy's gonna hide behind you?
Yeah.
So 15 years ago he tried to make a boat.
Make a boat? How did that go?
Same, like every
Want the plywood?
You might try the meat before you
Try
salt
the
it.
meat.
Really, you might want to try the meat. It's already. You might have oversalted it. In fact, I think I did.
Not many things that I can eat is ever salt.
The thin ones are more well done, and the thicker ones are.
Thank you.
Harry Potter's on tonight.
Ah.
Is that the first one or second one?
I don't know.
Yes.
The Chamber of Secrets. So
I have not watched
Single one?
a single one, but I do want to. I sat through a little bit of one, and I was really interested. But then
They're a decent story.
something came up, and I got interrupted I never went back to it. But
Decent stories, but you gotta get them from the beginning to follow up.
Okay, fuck them.
This
Do you sleep?
no, it took me out.
Yeah.
Up a little bit, made me feel a little better.
Me too.
I took a long nap.
I just went to bed and try to watch TV, but
It's not too bad warming up. There we go.
Turn it back on.
this thing
Oh,
on TV. It's slow. It's so slow to react. Turn it on and off a few times before I see how long it takes to turn on.
and then we still it up.
There you go.
But they tell me
This
to
is a
come.
little spicy.
Do y'all subscribe to the when I was a kid? When we had supper family dinner. No TV,
We don't ever sit down.
no phones. We had the whole we had to have the family dinner, which means everybody each night had to come sit at the table. So no phones, no TV, no nothing. Everybody had their little. That's the way it was. We chatted, but none of the.
We do that sometimes.
You like your meat, but better cooked, right? More well done.
I just like it as rare as possible usually, but.
Oh,
And of course, phone don't ring all day until I go somewhere.
Here, grab a thicker one.
Oh, well. Well, that would be me. How can I help you? Okay. I would have to ask about that Monday. So you need to give me a call Monday. I'd have to ask the boss how that works because honestly, we only ever sold like 3 punts ever, and we've never had one come back. So I don't have any clue how that works. So if you'll give me a call Monday, I'll check on it for you. We have one right now, $200 off. Yeah.
I wanted that spicy.
All right, thank you.
You like spicy, so I made it spicy. So I almost overdid the meat, thinking that you liked it well cooked.
I think it's good. I mean, I'll eat anywhere from bloody to done. You know, so I'll even go as far as the whole saying about what is it, chasing the cow along with the salt and the knife.
Wipe its ass in its nose and knock it on the head. Candy dressing, blue cheese and some nice stuff.
Well, they say now that I've got some Italian. Here's some blue cheese. Everybody who wants some.
Daisy could live off intravenous ranch, but it's the first dressing she ever tried when she came to the States, and she said that was enough exploring.
I like Caesar too.
I like Caesar. I'm not much of a ranch fan. It's a little bland for me, but I like Italian. I like blue cheese. Caesar, like I said.
Okay.
I can't stand French dressing. That's the
The red stuff?
yeah. That's just,
Sweet.
I don't want sweet stuff on a salad. I mean, it just don't seem like a
Yeah, it doesn't quite jive.
Anyway, I took blood yesterday. results of my last cholesterol, which was also good. A good reason to give blood. You get a free blood pressure and cholesterol screening in the process.
When they tell you what it was like last time, next time you go in?
Yeah. Or you can look online and see exactly what it is.
So when they take
Line up,
your
kids. We're all going
blood,
to the doctor.
they check you how.
They check your cholesterol and they check your blood pressure too.
Oh, that's good.
So,
You don't pay for it.
nope, you get a free.
Can less donate blood and
With diabetes too, huh?
Huh?
They can tell you have a diabetes. Something
Yeah,
like
they
that.
could.
I mean,
It don't hurt to get blood. I mean, you get a little tiny poke with a needle on your arm, but it's nothing.
Like a shot?
Yeah.
and how much they take it out?
A pint.
Like this one?
It's not bad. A pint's about this much blood.
Oh,
It's about a pint glass.
No.
A little bigger than a
no
pint.
thanks.
A little bag.
A little bit.
They might fill this up if they put it.
You know? Oh, me muero. I'm really scared to the needle.
Now, some cities you can go, and they'll actually pay you. You know, $50 to $100 to get blood.
Oh, I like that.
There's a spot down in Miami that'll buy plasma. And you go in there, look around and hope the hell you never need it.
But of all people,
Anybody selling plasma as a business or an employment?
It's not illegal to sell their blood.
No, that's where hospitals get it. They buy it from people that run around and pick it up.
Even if they paid me,
well, one thing is I've given blood enough times to where the way the rules work on it, if I ever need blood at the hospital, they can't charge me for it. It's free.
Well,
So that won't be on the bill anyway. No, I won't pay the bill anyway, but
and you never know when you're going to need it, huh?
no, you never know. Something could happen, a car wreck or anything. You never know.
No.
got a car out in front to prove that one.
Now my next goal is actually getting after I get money built back up. Is looking at health insurance, even though apparently I'm healthy. But the problem I'm having with it is that
You're one bullet away from not being healthy.
but the problem I'm having with the health insurance thing is that I'm healthy. Cholesterol's good. Blood pressure's good. But when I fill out the family history part that includes cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and all of that, all of a sudden my rates go from reasonable to
Really unreasonable.
stupid crazy. $1,000+ a month. I'm like,
Wow. No. Go to Bangkok and buy a kidney.
no doubt. Basically, healthcare is stacked against the consumer. If you're, so the insurance
No,
companies
that's
don't.
Yeah, smell that one. Good one, huh? Remember the cheese?
Blue cheese.
There was a while when we'd run around and buy boy, we're almost out.
What if you, oh, man, this,
Oh, I don't know how to stretch it.
add a little water to it.
Oh, a little milk.
Oh, okay. When I was a kid, we were pretty poor, and my dad used to do that to all the stuff like dressings and like ketchup. We used to get the ketchup like it was going crazy, so he would put water in the ketchup so that we could stretch it further.
Ketchup?
Yeah.
Dang.
Hey.
Hey, in Honduras, no dressing.
No dressing?
Now you can buy dressing. But when I was little girl, they put just lemon and spicy.
Yeah, Hispanic dressings
they sell at the store.
I'm just talking about air conditioning. I grew up without air conditioning too. We didn't have an air conditioner in our house until I was 17 years old. We got our first air conditioner. And believe me, summers in North Carolina make the heat here seem mild.
Yeah.
July and August in North Carolina is brutal.
Yeah, but before it wasn't too hot like now.
Up there it always was.
Up there, it's
Piedmont, North Carolina will be 100 degrees and 100%
Got
humidity. It's done with.
Honduras before.
That's the problem. The
Wasn't
no
too
wind
hot.
part, and then the mosquitoes come out. Right? You open the windows and mosquitoes come out.
Oh, it's definitely hotter now than it used to be everywhere. That's why I always make the joke to my cast all the time. Somebody will come on and say, I'll show their temperature at 101, feels like 120 in somewhere like Chicago. I'll be like, global warming is not real. Ask any Republican. They'll tell you global warming is not real.
This is Frank's dressing. She says they're watching you and they're going to find out we don't have any dressing. They're going to find out Frank doesn't have any more dressing.
Yep. I think Italian's my favorite.
Oh, even the dog is.
He's not even begging.
I threw him some scraps in there.
Oh, okay.
Stuff.
And maybe one cookie.
Pancake?
Like 1 inch wide.
You ate it?
Oh,
Did you put syrup on it? Nah.
We forgot that.
yeah. When she makes pancakes, she always flips them to her. So we're showing her how to gauge, how to watch the bubbles when they stay open and know when the pancake's ready on the bottom. So we did a test pancake, about as big around as that lid right there.
I guess I've made pancake in 20 years.
They are not.
Well, I haven't done a great job with it, but ever since the time came to where I started gaining weight in life, there's some things I just stopped. And then some of them are things like pancakes and cakes and sweets and stuff like that. The other stuff's a battle because it's really hard to do away with real food. I like rice only because I can't make it.
Well, Daisy made this on the fly. Usually,
Every time I make
usually it's
rice-
better.
It's either
I don't know what happened.
You made it too fast.
this was good, but you don't see when I make it. When I make it, it either ends up being pudding or chewy. Yeah. So I don't even try to make rice. I just
She's got some way of doing it where she heats the pan with no water in it, puts the rice in there with just a touch of oil, right? But she almost fries it. The whole stack, she almost fries it, gets super hot, and then she pours in the water. Preheats the rice before applying the water.
my dad now, he used to do something, it's not rice, but I can't duplicate it. But he used to just make butter noodles, just plain old noodles, with butter and pepper. But I'm just not quite sure. It has to be something else to it. Because I've tried to make it, and it come out like his did. It never ever does.
Don't rinse the noodles.
I never do. I just dump them in water and let them boil.
Well, I mean, when you pour it off the water, do you ever rinse the noodles in a strainer? The people that rinse noodles off, they lose that tacky edge.
Yeah, it was always so good. My dad was the king of making cheap food. We were poor, so we, so a big bag of noodles and a clump of butter, that's pretty cheap, And then in the summertime, of course, almost all of our food came from our garden, which we all had to work. We had to go out there and dig and pull weeds up and pick stuff and dig up potatoes. The potato digging part sucked. I always hated that. Because North Carolina's got that red clay hard dirt. And after the whole summer, them things growing, it's hard as rock, and then you got to start digging it out.
Yo termino.
sweet potatoes down to Honduras. We get a couple oxen with the plow, with the single bit, and they'll just drag it back and forth, and roll the dirt over.
Okay. Wait a minute, aren't we missing somebody?
Yeah. She found out the air was off and went to live with her friends.
Oh!
You find out really early, when the food is
No, you
finished.
don't have one more piece of that. That's awfully good.
Did you know?
Yeah, I just noticed we was missing one. I was like, well, that's one.
The whiny one isn't him.
Yeah, but when she's here, she don't eat too much.
Right.
No, she can eat one of these and be done. She's done.
Oh, how?
Hmm.
That's it. She don't like rice. She don't like salad.
Missing the beer. Oh well. Daisy doesn't like beer anyway.
Could have,
Personally. You know?
I was thinking that you could have, like, imagine if you had a couple of teenage sons instead of daughters. Then
Well,
your
that would
food
be
bill would
better.
triple.
Well, it might be better. Well, I know that I'm better off with the girls because some guy is going to steal them and go live at his parents' house. If I had guys,
Then they would
they'd
be
be dragging women home, and I'd be multiplied.
They bring more people to the house.
Actually, they say the average kid now lives at their parents' house to like at least 25.
Well, if they want to live in Honduras, that's okay.
Do you have kids?
No.
No married, no?
No married, no kids. Come close once or twice, and then I thought better of it. I looked around at all my friends. Every one of my friends is divorced. Everyone that got married is divorced. Most of them, several times.
Didn't learn the lesson the first time, huh? Well,
So it looked like a bad investment. So even now, I probably know 4 people, period, that I can say seem to have a happy marriage. You guys are there.
well, it's cheaper to keep her.
Yeah. You guys, and then I got
I can't afford the child support, so I got to
a
keep
couple
her
friends in
around.
North Carolina. But as far as all the rest of them, they're either divorced a few times, or I have a few friends that aren't divorced, but it's far from happily married.
Yeah.
And
It's not easy.
there's some people who shouldn't be married and
Yeah, and they are.
trying to hang on just
Yeah.
for the sake of whatever, you know.
I always hate people that try to stay married supposedly for the sake of the kids. Trust me, my dad tried that for years. It's not a good idea. It don't do the kids a favor.
I heard of a married, well, I didn't read the whole thing, but apparently a married couple that decided that they were better off living separate, and that the economy got so bad they had to move in with each other. But it was weird because they weren't unhappily married, they just didn't like living with each other. Jim did that. Jim was married to a lady. She lived down the street. Because she adopted very, very troubled kids. Like, seriously screwed up. Yeah, that was the thing. She had a bunch of kids in her household that were teenagers. You know, drugs and crime and street stuff and really seriously messed up kids. And they were living in her house. He got married when he lived up the block. Like,
Okay.
what did he say? She died of cancer or something like that?
No, que fue a la piscina y le atravesó.
Oh, gee, yeah. Oh, man, that was her, wasn't it?
Oh,
She went to a hotel.
Oh.
She was traveling. She was at a hotel and she fell asleep. They said apparently she fell asleep on the chairs by the pool, and somebody locked up the gate. When they closed the pool, they looked around. Nobody's here. Locked the gate. She wakes up, finds herself locked in the gated area. She's in the fence, but it's a tall fence and it's got the mashed metal spike at the end points. When she's climbing over it on the rungs, she climbs over and gets over, right? How many guys did she live with? She outlived a lot of guys.
She outlived a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And somebody I was reading about that had outlived like 12 husbands. She didn't divorce them.
Person
She
of interest.
outlived them.
She's a person of interest, huh?
But you know what happened in my country? The mujeres,
The women.
the women, can live by self because they got married and they start having kids. 4 kids. Maybe 2 years they have a lot of kids. So if this guy don't want to be with them, they have to find another guy to help with the kids.
Oh, okay.
Because over there,
It was rural.
it's not
Farm country, huh?
no, it's not too much trabajo, the work. So they
Everybody worked on their own property, so it wasn't hiring out a lot, you know? It's not like here. A woman can have 2 or 3 kids and have a job and
yeah,
just fine.
they can. And when the guy ran away over there, he don't pay anything. No child support, nothing. And nobody do anything. He find another girl and have a kid with the other one too.
Well, here I believe in people paying child support, but I also think that sometimes it's a little crazy. Like, one friend of mine, he had 3 kids, and he made about $1,500 a week. The courts had him paying $1,000 a week in child support. He don't take $1,000 a week to raise 3 kids. Okay? And that's just crazy.
But a lot of ones don't pay.
All right.
I'm married with him, and I say I'm not going to marry again if he leaves me. Too much trouble.
I'm gonna eat all your steak if I keep going at it, but it's awfully good.
Bubble it up. Go for it.
Definitely hitting the spot.
That's what you're looking for, red meat?
Apparently so. Now, I finally started cleaning up over there in the house today. I was lazy all day. Finally, a little bit ago, I washed the dishes and vacuumed.
Okay, I don't know.
Who was it that said that Facebook is like jail? Did you see that? CJ? Yeah. You sit around all day, write on the walls, get poked by people you don't know. Have some of this, man. It's good. Make you sweat, cool you down. That's all that is zucchini, a half a red onion, and a little bit of my private reserve pepper paste.
Okay.
I can't remember what I put in it,
You put too much.
but it ain't. It's still good. It's been there for months, sealed up in the Tupperware, but it seems to be holding out very good. Nothing wants to grow in it.
Oh, is that one you made?
That's yeah. It
Looks like I
tastes
made
really
hot
good.
wings the other night, and I used some of that hot sauce that was sent to me,
You'll never get a mold
garlic
growing
and
in
all,
there.
and I had the bowl still full of stuff, and I actually left it out on the grill because I partially cooked it in the sauce and pulled it off
The
the
flies didn't want to have nothing to do with it, did
I got
they?
it out today, and guess what? No ants, no flies, no mold. Looked just like the day it was cooked. It's unchanged.
Hello, Dougie. Little begging dog in the window. Time to cut the hairs in front of his eyes again. Poor dog runs around like he's got boog boog. Hey, where'd everybody go?
Yeah, when I came from Honduras, next day I got the hair.
They say that's why that, believe it or not, Latin countries have a lower incidence of intestinal disorders because Western nations do, like Mexico, like the U.S. Or it's less likely to have problems
Or peppers.
because of the peppers and
Mexico.
everything. Yeah, well, Mexico, any of the Latin countries that use their spicy.
Well, I know
spicy
that the
food.
Mexicans think they
Mexico,
got hot
they-
blood because they're.
They eat from there.
And they're still whining about my shirt,
Here to the
apparently.
babies.
Chilies. I know.
Ooh. My country not too much shit.
No.
Mexico is the one.
No air conditioning today, guys.
As soon as a friend of mine from
They're
Mexico,
telling me to put a shirt up.
Mm.
I have to keep waiting for that one. Boy.
hey, I was talking to Clay, a friend of mine from Mexico. He was talking about that there. When the breastfeeding's done, there is no baby food. There's chili.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they start. It's chili. And that's what they feed the babies. Is chili. So
Well, the girls drank coffee and
So they got
the
sick.
girls would have either they
babies.
No, people. For too much pepper.
No, it's the opposite.
for-
Actually, they're
for
healthier because of it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they have less problems. Well, they say what don't kill you makes you stronger.
Well, that's what makes radishes spicy. Radishes that you grow like in a greenhouse where no bug ever gets to it. You water it, fertilize it, dust the leaves, whatever. It's going to be very, very bland.
Yeah.
But if you let the bugs chew on the leaves a little, it makes for a very spicy radish. It's a reaction that's triggered by somebody attacking the leaves. Same with mangoes. Mango tree, if you baby a mango tree for years and years and years, the crop starts diminishing. So you have to lop a few branches off. You have to cut a few roots or chop a little bit on the bark. Once the tree feels stressed, it feels threatened and produces lots of fruit, lots of seed. It thinks it's on its way out.
Oh, okay.
So that's how people that prune their mango trees get much better crops. In the islands, people will just habitually, just as they're walking past a mango tree, just hit it with the stick or hit it with a machete, just chunk, as they're walking by, just almost absent-mindedly. And my dad said, "What are you guys doing, hitting all the mango trees?" And they said, "Oh, it makes good fruit the next year."
Mm-hmm. June 24th, people do the mango. People cut the hair.
So people cut on mango trees and cut their hair on June 24th? Where?
Dicen que
No.
el día San Juan. Entonces
Oh,
día
but
de
that's more of a religious tradition where they go
all
I don't know
people,
why.
all people.
old background. I never heard it.
Keep going, we have to finish.
No, it's not. I already felt like a pig. No, it was very good, very good, very good. Just what I needed. You're short man, then I gotta run down
Not
and
too
get.
heavy.
No. You're short man, I gotta run down and get lottery. I hate to miss my chance at my $138 million.
Put $5 on that thing. You want a Powerball?
Yeah. $138 million.
That'd fix a few of our problems. Probably replace them with a few others, though.
Actually, you know, I've always said, I've told these guys on here what I would do. This, I've already, if I ever win something, I've got it planned out.
I know. You take your
I want a little,
JTV channel to the space shuttle.
well, I want a little, I'd like to have a little 2 or 3 bedroom house in Key West. Okay? Nothing too elaborate, just a little like that.
That'll run you some money anyway.
A small boat.
If you win.
If I win, a small boat. A really nice RV because I don't want to do the traveling thing and I want to live in it part of the year, so it has to be a really nice one. And then after that, put up enough money to yield me an income, a net income of $100,000 a year, and then I'd start giving money away. Everything up that after I got to there, everything above that I would start giving away to people, just handing it out.
Did they ever find out who that
And
guy
we are
was that
in
used
that
to walk
plans
around? Was it in?
And we are in your plans too.
Yeah,
if
you
you
can
win.
live in the little house behind the
I'll be there.
He's gonna put a trailer on his
I
bus.
can be your house cleaning, huh?
Yeah. Ooh, but
I'd
yeah,
like to
that's
see that.
that's-
Daisy allergic cats over there wallowing.
should come in. Should come in a hazmat suit. You know those suits that cover your whole body with a respirator and the whole deal.
What's the matter, dog? You don't want any more meat? Shoot.
If
That's
I
a
win,
first. You have a friggin' stroke and die. You'd be the richest hunter and ever die. Daisy wins. You won't. First of all, you won't believe it's true, and you'll crumple it up and throw the
you
ticket
think
away.
about your life. If you win, don't think about other people, okay?
138 million.
I need only one right now.
Only 1 million?
Well, actually, from what I understand about Honduras, with $1 million, you would be. You'd probably need higher security.
You have, yeah, you have somebody, yeah.
No.
That's like a friend of mine said about
Before-
Mexico. He said, I don't know much about Honduras, but he said, depending on where you're at in Mexico, there's areas, if you're wealthy, you can go and you're safe. But
I
in
know
most
more.
of Mexico,
No more.
you go, and the thing is, if you went down there rich, you probably wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
Incognito.
Even if you don't have anything, right now Mexico is really danger. Honduras is getting like that too right now. Yeah, I'm really scared to go there. When I go there, I stay in my house. If I go out, I go with somebody else. Never go by myself. Because people think we have
Say
money
hi.
here.
Well, you live in the U.S., so obviously
Yeah.
they can get lots of money.
So if I win, I buy my house here, and I maybe want to go to South.
Look at the camera, dog. There you go.
Well, like I said, my goal would be that I want to buy the house.
No more.
Somebody says, does that guy ever put a shirt on? They're complaining, does this guy ever put a shirt on?
They're always talking about Clay. Never has a shirt on.
Yeah.
Well, she's been around without a shirt
And
on, but she got
shoes.
the camera here.
And shoes too.
I never wear shoes much. I'm barefooted most of the
Never.
time. Most of the I wear flip flops or I'm barefooted. That's it.
One day he's not gonna wear shorts.
Well, now I will draw a line. You start showing up over the house in speedos, and we have a problem because
I need to get that.
I'm still trying to find the person that looks good in speedos. Okay, I haven't seen that person yet.
Wasn't he an Olympic swimmer?
Maybe.
He wasn't even good looking, was he?
I just don't think speedos were meant to be worn. I mean, it's a
They're almost just a technicality.
Mhm.
You can't go in the pool naked, but if you put on this rubber band, we'll let you in the pool.
But the really scary part about speedos is most of the people who choose to wear them really shouldn't wear them. That's the bad part. All they've done
I
at the
saw him on
beach, you see like these
Sunrise.
60-year-old men with their belly bigger than mine walking down through there with on his speedos, and I'm like,
There was a guy in a pair of Speedos. He had them hiked up almost to his nipples on a bike, and they were scrunched up all the way, flossing himself as he was, pedaling. And they were leopard print.
oh no.
I was waiting to pull out, and he went by, and I was like, "Oh wow!" There's my camera when I need it. It's just
Yeah, you never had that. It's like when I'm out on the bike, I don't know how much happens, but whenever I go out by myself or go somewhere and I don't have the camera or my phone, I forget my phone, something cool will always pop up.
I know.
At that moment,
Well, we were talking with Daisy the day before the accident. I was telling her there are people that put two little cameras on their car and one looking back, and it just records like a little black box. And if there's ever an accident, this is what happened. That was coming this way. When we were going that way, bam, flump, 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 whoop. And I was like, that would have been a highlight reel.
yeah, that would have been a
That
good
would have been a nice highlight reel.
If the
Yeah.
computer, that is if
If you
the
could hear
camera
anything,
survives.
if you could hear it, well, I mean, just the camera doesn't have to survive. It just needs to record onto something, a little hard just a little flash drive. And then you erase it after every trip, you know.
Now, that was a pretty scary little accident.
Well,
How were your eardrums? Which one of you screamed the loudest during them?
this one almost screamed herself hoarse in about 4 seconds, or less. But I can understand why. I mean, sit in a minivan, park in front of a semi-truck and go
In
accelerate
my side.
on her side. Yeah, speed him up to 70 miles an hour.
But I came like this and I just,
We need watermelon?
and I was
No, I'm good.
doing like this side. And I come in and do, no! I say no. And I say, when I see that movie, I say, why do people say no? Now I know why.
The last time I was in a car accident, I guess, was years ago. I was driving with a friend of mine. I didn't say no when we left the road at 100 miles an hour. I said, we're dead. All went through my head was, we're dead. We didn't get hurt, actually. It was really amazing. We went through a cornfield.
Well-
the car left the road, went into a cornfield at about 100 miles an hour. And believe it or not, cornfields will slow you down, but they won't stop you exactly. But they do slow you down
They
very
provide
quickly.
resistance. I wonder if it's the fluffy soil.
I don't know, but the car ended up with the wheels buried all the way up to the top of the fenders time we came to a stop in the ground too. So we
that'll
were,
slow you down. Fluffy cornfield.
Yeah, but all day, in the end of the day, I can talk really clear. Because some people come and I say, hello. Hey, hello. I say, hello. So I can talk. Because
Oh, yeah.
I scream really hard, I think so. Right? Hey, you don't know.
Well,
Well,
I'm
the
just-
thing with,
What do I think of what?
the thing is
That's
that-
like the 5th time a seatbelt saved my life, so it's like getting old. Or I'm wondering how long my luck's gonna hang out.
What's my size, so? My first
That
time.
big truck that I have on the pictures in Facebook, the one I drove in the Army, I broke the seat off on that thing. The spring-loaded, adjustable, super fancy seats they have in the trucks. I crushed it all the way down. I drove over some train tracks. But over there they have taller gauge train tracks set a little farther apart. And with those great big tires going up over the hill and up over the berm. Through it and back down. But I was going like 60 miles an hour when I did that. In that big fuel truck. But they were throwing mortars at me, so I was justified.
yeah. If I was driving a fuel truck and they were throwing mortars, I'd be moving very quickly also.
Well, we were sitting there eating, and heard that thing come whistling in, and it was one of the little small ones, about this big, I guess. And it went right in the ditch. We were parked in the middle of the road, and it went in the ditch. It was just 2-lane road. And all the mud blew up, and I remember a boot landing next to it. It was like an old mud boot that had been sitting in the ditch for years. I remember an old rotten boot landed next to me, and I was like, oh, crap, here we go. Sergeant said, get in and drive. And the lieutenant, the only guy in the whole convoy with the radio and a map and a GPS, is driving the Hummer, and he can go fast. And I've got fuel. The truck behind me had tank ammo, and a couple others had food, water, big pallets on big flatbeds. And we're trying to catch a little speck of dust up in front. And he said, don't lose that guy. He said, just go. He said, run through anything you need to, over anything you need to, and just go. And I went up over that train track. The seatbelt kept me from snapping off my neck on the roof, because when we went up, my helmet put a dent in the headline.
Oh, Lord.
And I felt my whole spine go, oh. I was like, the seatbelt held me down, but when I came down, it crushed out the seat.
Dinner was great, but if I'm going to get my lottery tickets, I'm going to have to get, because it's 9:26.
Should I give you $5 and have you pick me up some lucky numbers?
If you want me to.
What are they? Are they a buck?
No, buck a piece.
That didn't more expensive. Oh, it's just worse odds.
Just $1 a piece, but worse odds.
If you win, you can be premium.
telling you that if a rich man comes up to you and takes you out to dinner and a little hot tub action, you should go for the money? So if I got the money, she ain't gonna go for it no more, huh?
I give you the,
Her life's dream is
Free.
married to a bean
I
farmer.
give you the divorce and you can marry me.
a couple. Although if I plant a bean field and raise a couple fat-looking goats, she.
Just send me the check every month.
Oh.
Oh, she gets the check.
That's the catch.
Isn't that she doesn't want the money?
Tired of looking at me.
Send me the check every month.
¿Tenés 5 pesos por ahí?
That's it. I give it.
I gotta think your desk is a mess.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. That was good.
Where'd the money go, Mom? Oh. See?
Ah. Riches.
You think you'll win anything with this, guys? That's the change for the flea market.
No.
You gotta go in with a bucket of change. It's all singles. It's either change for the flea market or we're going to the strip club tonight.
No.
I think I'll make more money at the flea market.
Probably. Strip clubs are generally a losing proposition.